that everyone else already has thumbs down. That way you don't have the chance to, you won't actually have to play that map, and you'll get a better chance at playing the maps that are better for you. Now, this is weird because, you don't know who you're going to be up against. So, but if you can say, 3 out of the 4 matchups that you're going to be playing as, you're really bad on Echo Isles, you probably want to thumbs that down, and just so you don't have to play it that much, or that you wouldn't have to play it at all. So, I mean, you have that kind of choice in there, and you don't have to worry about other opponents thumbsing up certain other maps, because for the majority, I just told you earlier what most people are going to have thumbs up and thumbs down. So you can kind of work on that. Again, this is still a work on progress, and it's kind of hard to explain talking to, but if you have any ideas for me, or this has already been posted somewhere and I missed it, just PM me and let me know. I'm kind of interested in figuring out how this would work. I'm really, really bad at math, so I kind of have my girlfriend working on some of the numbers for me and trying to figure out the best way to gather the data for this study. I've been kind of looking at the the BattleNet website, trying to pull statistics off some of their ladder statistics area, but it actually hasn't been updated in a long time, so it's not very current. And even that, I mean, you probably want to personalize this rather than take it on for the general public. I mean, you can kind of take the general public so far, but you can actually break this down and make this process work specifically for you. Just kind of playing percentages of the maps that are going to be picked up. So I did want to talk about that for a little while. What was the next thing? I talked about map breakdown. Oh yeah, I'm going to be trying to break down every individual map, trying to figure out the best creep patterns for specific races, and obviously I'm starting with Grubby first, so it's going to be Orc versus all the different races, and trying to see what Grubby's creep pattern is like for all these different races, for all the common maps that he plays on. And again, all this information, it's easy enough for me to look up, I just haven't been able to compile it all. It's all on replays, throughout different websites. Obviously I'm checking out WCReplays.com first, but there's other search engines and stuff. You can check out other replay websites and figure that out. What else do I want to go over? I do have all this stuff written down, but I'm kind of jumping all over the place, so it's kind of screwing me up a bit. Hope you guys are having fun watching that replay. I don't even know what's going on right now since I'm completely desynced, but it should be entertaining. It was a quick replay. It's kind of fun just to see Grubby's statistics on there. And if you wanted to map out and watch Grubby's creeping patterns exactly, maybe you could try to imitate those in your matchups, or I don't know how it's going to work. Again, it's that whole, you're playing against a pro player. The pro players versus pro players is different than average players versus average players. You're not going to get a 4K Fury with the same unit selection and the same build orders and the same timing. It's different. The timing is different, but a lot of the times the average players are trying to imitate those pro players, so it's close, it's similar, and it helps give you a guideline of how to play the matchup. So again, nothing is going to exclude, good scouting. I mean, he could do something completely different, going, I don't know, Tinker first with, whatever, Lich second, I don't know, something strange, something that you don't, obviously Lich second isn't strange for Undead, but, just some weird tavern build, maybe go some funky unit combos. You got to scout it to figure it out for sure, but overall, there's a good way. You got to play the percentages to get your rank up better, I know there's a lot of players out there who are they're good players by trade, and they don't. This audio isn't appealing to you. This is an audio. Again, I like to think I'm kind of the savior for the average Joes, for people who are still trying to learn the game, and for people who are maybe coming back to it after a while, who still have some knowledge of the game but want to increase their level of play. So if this doesn't appeal or doesn't apply to you, then obviously it's not a big help. So you can just not listen to it if you want. But, hopefully some of what I'm saying is sinking into some of you, or sparking some kind of passion or interest that you guys might have to do your own kind of research and your own study of the percentages and map selection and all that great stuff. So I think that's a big part of the game. And I think a lot of the time in commentaries, we get so caught up in the actual replay that we're watching. We want to have the replay be entertaining for you guys to listen to, and we want the audio to be entertaining. Sorry, but we get caught up in shoutcasting it, or we get caught up in trying to make a specific point, and we end up reaming that point into the ground so many times. And I'm trying something different here by not actually watching the replay and just commentating on kind of points that I wanted to go over. And hopefully this replay just takes up time and syncs it up. It actually should be over within the next, minute or two for you guys. But look, all right, I'm done talking about that. I wanted to talk about some things that are going on personally with me right now, like real life issues. And so turn it off if you don't want to listen to it, but it's just going to be real quick. I'm talking about 2 things, and some of them I'm actually going to need your help on if you're willing to help, and if you want to be involved in esports, and if you want to see esports and video games in general in the mainstream media. I have a good opportunity for myself, but I'm not going to be able to do this without some help from you guys, and actually help from other esports websites, and I'm going to try to appeal to them as well. So first thing I'll talk about is the job I actually got. It was a receiving job, which is basically a shipping and receiving person. I deal with inventory and stock for a frozen foods company, so I'm in kind of a freezer warehouse all day. I'm on a computer, but I got a lot of stuff going on, so I don't have a lot of time to check my email or PMs or hang on WCReplays. Not yet, anyway. I'm still kind of learning it. I've only had the job for this is my second week on it, so just kind of getting involved. But it's nice. It's the highest paying job I've had so far, even though it feels like a step down from other jobs that I've taken. And I won't go into some of the jobs I've had before, because you guys would completely, obliterate me if you knew what jobs I've passed up in order to, keep the lifestyle that I have right now. Some of you know what I'm talking about, some of the people I've talked to in the past, but just kind of keep it down. It's not a big deal. I'm happy now, so everything's good. Now, about the esports thing I wanted to talk about, and I still got ideas going on for it, but basically what I'm trying to do is bring a generalized Give Me 5 series. If you guys have heard my Give Me 5 series before, it's just something I did maybe 3 or 4 times in the recent past, covering Warcraft scene news. Basically the scene news that was already covered on the website, I was putting into audio form to catch people up quickly without having to kind of go through all the pages and read everything. So what I wanted to do, and I brought this to a local radio station, and this radio station is a talk radio station, and it's geared toward males. It's basically a sports kind of car talk, politics, kind of. They got a lot of talk things going on in my area. I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I figure that this radio station, if any radio station in the world is going to want to hire somebody to do a show or a segment about electronic sports or about video games, it's going to be this one. It's not going to be a music station that just wants to do something on a morning show. I mean, these guys just talk all day long. They don't play any music. It's just about issues, and it's about current events, and it's about politics and cars and things that guys are into. And since the majority of the electronic sports scene is male-oriented, and it's males, between, the teenagers, and then it's also the 20-something, the college-age kids. So I think I can definitely appeal to them, because this is the kind of station that I think a lot of the times they would be listening to. We're talking about above average intellect generally. I know obviously it doesn't seem like that when you play Dota games, or when you play other games too. You get a lot of the immature kids, but generally people who play video games are above average intelligence.